Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news. Hey Bears fans, sit down and buckle up because what I'm about to tell you is shaking up the entire NFC North and could completely reshape our journey to the Super Bowl. We're talking about a potential blockbuster trade that involves none other than Devin Witherspoon, the young and elite cornerback from the Seattle Seahawks. If you've been paying attention to the league buzz lately, you know that the Seahawks, sitting at 8-3 and facing a few cracks in their armor, might be looking to make some bold moves before the trade deadline hits. And if the whispers are true, Chicago might be right at the center of it all, snagging a player who has the potential to be a game changer for our secondary and overall defense. Now, hold on because the details are pretty intriguing. The Seahawks, with a cap space of around $25 million and struggling with a few injuries and inconsistencies, especially on the offensive line, are said to be eyeing some strategic moves. They've got Geno Smith going through a bit of a slump, and their defense, while still formidable, has allowed about 5 points per game. That's not terrible, but it's enough to make you wonder if they're willing to shake things up. Sources suggest that Seattle might be open to trading Witherspoon, a star in the making, in exchange for a third-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The reason? Well, it's about prioritizing their cap space and rebuilding the offensive line, which has been a bit of a sieve lately. Recent stats show that the Seahawks have been allowing about 3 sacks per game, which is a concern for a team aiming for deep playoff runs. But what makes this really interesting for us Bears fans is the potential upgrade in our secondary. Witherspoon, drafted in 2023, has already made a name for himself as one of the best young cornerbacks in the league. Over his career so far, he's logged around 180 solo tackles, 50 assists, 12 interceptions, and has been a nightmare for opposing wide receivers. His PFF grades are consistently high, around 88.5 for his career, and his coverage metrics are elite, with an 89.0 grade this season, allowing just about 4.1 yards after the catch per reception. That's the kind of player who can lock down top receivers, turn the tide on big plays, and elevate our entire defensive unit. His ability to shut down big plays, allowing only around 10 per game, makes him a perfect fit for what the Bears need right now, especially as we look to tighten up a secondary that's been vulnerable at times. Imagine Witherspoon teaming up with Johnson, creating a lockdown duo that could significantly boost our pass defense. His presence alone could lead to an increase in interceptions, for example, projecting a jump from 9 to around 19 total picks, and an overall improvement in coverage efficiency. His ability to disrupt timing routes and make plays on the ball is exactly what Chicago needs to turn our defense into a real nightmare for opponents. Plus, he's shown consistent durability, missing no major games this season, which is a big plus for a team looking to build stability on the back end. Now, why would Seattle be willing to give up such a key player? Well, sources say that even though they have cap space, about $25 million, they're already eyeing extensions for guys like DK Metcalf. So, freeing up some room now might help them focus on locking down their star receiver long-term. Additionally, they're in a bit of a rebuild mode on the offensive line, which has struggled with pass protection, allowing about 3.1 sacks per game. The Seahawks have been emphasizing their rebuild of the offensive line and overall roster, and dealing Witherspoon could be part of a broader strategy to reshuffle their assets. For us Bears, this potential move isn't just about acquiring a talented young cornerback. It's about shifting the entire defensive narrative. Witherspoon, who has been a shadow elite in coverage, would slot perfectly into our defensive scheme. His ability to mirror receivers, make plays on the ball, and cover tight windows could elevate our secondary by leaps and bounds. In fact, his stats against some of the top receivers in the league are impressive. For example, he's allowed only about 4% completion percentage against, and he's been effective at breaking up passes, averaging around 45 passes defensed over his career, and limiting yards after catch to just over 4 yards per reception. That kind of shutdown ability is exactly what we need to challenge teams like the Lions and Packers, who are always looking to exploit our secondary. And let's not forget how this upgrade could impact our entire team's outlook. Improving our secondary with Witherspoon would likely boost our third down defense significantly, projected to improve by around 15%, from 39% to 54% in conversion rate allowed. That's huge when you're trying to get off the field and give our offense more chances to score. It could also lead to more turnovers, projected to increase our interception total from 9 to close to 19, adding more opportunities for our offense to capitalize and swing momentum in our favor. Plus, with Witherspoon's ability to generate big plays, averaging around 10 big plays allowed per game, adding him to our roster would help us clamp down on explosive plays, which have been a thorn in our side this season. Now, what about the ripple effects across the league? Well, if this trade happens, it's likely to set off a chain reaction. The Seahawks, in need of wide receivers and help on defense, could be looking to rebuild their passing attack, especially after allowing an 18% increase in passing yards per game. Conversely, for the Bears, acquiring Witherspoon would be a statement move, signaling that we're serious about building a dominant defense that can carry us deep into the playoffs and ultimately contend for a Super Bowl. His addition could push our defense from a solid 86.5 grade to an even more formidable 92.0, making us one of the toughest units in the league. That boost could be the difference maker in tight playoff games where every turnover and big stop matters. Looking ahead, this move would also have a significant impact on the odds of us making a deep playoff run. Bookmakers like DraftKings have already moved the Super Bowl odds for the Bears from plus 700 to plus 450, reflecting a 12% chance now, and that number could climb even higher if we land Witherspoon. A player of his caliber could be the X factor in the postseason, especially when you consider how his presence would elevate our pass defense efficiency by about 15%. That's a huge boost when facing top-tier offenses in the playoffs. It's not just about adding a talented player. It's about shifting the entire trajectory of our team's future, turning our defense into a true shutdown unit capable of carrying us all the way to the Lombardi Trophy. And let's be real, the Bears have been building towards something special this season. Justin Fields has shown flashes of brilliance, and with a defense that can actually hold opponents in check, our chances of making a deep playoff run are better than ever. Adding Witherspoon would send a message to the league and to our division rivals that Chicago is serious about competing at the highest level. It would be a move that not only boosts our chances this year, but sets the foundation for sustained success in the years to come. Imagine a future where our secondary is feared across the league, where quarterbacks think twice before throwing in our direction, and where our defense becomes the backbone of a Super Bowl-winning team. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL, and trades like these always come with questions. Will Seattle really let go of a player like Witherspoon? Are we willing to give up a third-round pick in 2026 for this upgrade? But if recent history teaches us anything, it's that bold moves often define champions. The Bears have been patient, building through the draft and smart acquisitions, but now it might be time to make a statement. And bringing in Witherspoon could be that statement. An aggressive, strategic move that propels us into the upper echelon of NFL defenses and keeps us competitive for years to come. So, Bears fans, what do you think? Would you be excited to see Witherspoon in navy and orange, patrolling the secondary and making life miserable for opposing quarterbacks? Do you believe this move could help us finally break through and challenge for a Super Bowl? I know I do. The potential is there and the opportunity might just be knocking on our door. Keep your eyes peeled because if this trade goes down, it's going to be a game changer, one that could define the next chapter of Bears football. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking forward, one thing is clear. The Chicago Bears are positioning themselves to be serious contenders. This potential acquisition of Witherspoon fits perfectly with the team's current trajectory, focused on building a tough, disciplined, and dynamic defense capable of shutting down some of the best offenses in the league. With the secondary potentially becoming one of the league's elite, we could see the Bears transforming into a team that's feared across the league, a team that other offenses dread facing. And for us fans, that's exactly the kind of football we want to see. Intense, relentless, and winning. The impact of this move extends beyond just the field. It's about sending a message to the entire league that Chicago is back on the map, ready to compete for titles and build a legacy that lasts. With Witherspoon in the fold, the Bears could see a marked improvement in pass defense metrics, possibly raising our PFF grade from the current 86.5 to over 92.0. That kind of jump isn't just numbers. It's a statement that we're serious about winning, about dominating, and about making our mark in the NFL. It's about finally turning the page and establishing a defensive identity that intimidates opponents and energizes our fan base. In conclusion, this trade rumor isn't just idle speculation. It's about a potential game-changing move that could elevate the Chicago Bears to new heights. Whether it happens or not, it's exciting to think about the possibilities. A young, elite corner like Witherspoon paired with our current roster could be the missing piece that pushes us over the top. We've been patient, we've been building, and now it might be time to make a bold statement. And if we do, the NFC North, the league, and most importantly, our fans will be watching very closely. Because in the NFL, sometimes one trade can change everything, and for us Bears fans, I truly believe this could be one of those moments. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.